And a very good morning. All rise, please.
Oh boy.
All right, and you may be seated. Thank you and welcome to Sunday Morning Mass for September the 20th, 2020. That means it's 9/20/2020.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Good call.
Oh, thank you. Welcome to the show. We have probably the biggest news of the year on our show today. And for that news, I will turn it over to the man who comes to us from San Francisco this morning,
Ooh.
Corvette Ronnie.
Yes, and it's a little chilly here, but it was so worth the drive.
How worth? Oh, never mind that.
It was so worth it. I left my home a little after 5 a.m., got down here and washed my hands and got to hold my brand new granddaughter.
And there she is right there. I'm showing a picture right now.
Named Hazel.
Hazel
Lynn, yes.
And what were her numbers?
Oh, dang. She was like 8 pounds, 10 ounces, and 20 something. I have it on a text somewhere, but too big to throw back for sure. It's a keeper.
Good.
Yeah, it's a keeper.
10 fingers, 10 toes.
Everything's good. Baby's good. Mommy's good. So it was a successful delivery.
Without being too personal, was Hazel a little bit early?
What do you say? I didn't understand that.
Did she come a little early?
Oh, actually, she came one day later than my daughter's original due date.
No kidding.
She was due on the 16th. Is what the very first day she had an appointment, they said the 16th, and she was born on the 17th. So they just about nailed it dead on.
Was it a pretty easy pregnancy?
For me, it was a breeze. Yeah.
Yeah. Your back's not sore?
Yeah, not at all.
Good.
My daughter, she didn't have really any problems. Right at the very end, she was getting swollen ankles and hands and feet and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
It was a little uncomfortable. I would say probably the last week or two. But she worked right up to, I think, 3 days before baby was born. So she's a trooper, that's for sure.
Well, both of my sons and also my number one grandson were all born in July. And if I were going to be a pregnant woman, that's one of the months I wouldn't want to be pregnant in.
Yeah, you'd want to avoid that month completely.
Yeah.
Although in San Francisco, in July, it gets up to about 80.
I was going to say about 74, 75.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's not awful here no matter what time of year. I mean,
right.
Even the winters are pretty mild here. You don't get a gigantic fluctuation in temperatures. So
yeah,
good place to be pregnant, I think.
Right. When you live in Sacramento, we've said this before, in California, you're pretty centrally located, depending on what you want to do. If you want to go to the snow, you're roughly about an hour and a half to 2 hours away.
Right.
If you want to go to San Francisco, you're about an hour and a half away.
Yep.
L.A. a little bit longer, but in some cases, it's what the heck is going on? Oh, there we go. Scrolling text. There we go. Sorry, my microphone cord touched the mouse pad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everything went funky on me. Can you hear me all right still?
Yes.
All right,
yeah.
good.
Yep. I hear
all right. So Ronnie, you're a grandfather.
Yes.
I was so excited when I heard the news originally. I remember because, it's everybody's time is different when they're going to be a grandma or grandpa. And some people don't even get to have that title,
right?
Which I think is a shame, but certainly a choice.
Yep.
Or maybe even not so much a choice. Being a grandparent is like one of the greatest gifts in the whole world because you get to love that kid as much as you want and spoil them, and then you just give them back.
Right. Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to it. Super excited. I know that I worked an awful lot while my kids were growing up. And so, in law enforcement, I didn't get a lot of, birthdays off unless they fell on my days off. I didn't get every Christmas off. I didn't get every Easter off. So there were quite a few, you know, important days that I missed with my kids. And now that I'm retired, I can, certainly rectify that.
Yeah. Once your own kids are grown, and then your kids have kids, it kind of it changes everything.
Hey, I've got a real funny comment here from Ken Blythe.
All right, cool.
What song is it we were playing 1 minute before we went on air?
Oh, I know.
What was it?
I left my heart in San Francisco.
Yeah, so Ken Blythe says, the time will soon come when Corvette Ronnie will be singing I Left My Heart in San Francisco on his way home.
It's going to happen many, many times. Well,
Yep.
Again, Ronnie said it. It's key. You want to be around your grandkids as much as you can. And it's just, the world is a hard place. And sometimes the husband of your daughter, your grandson or granddaughter, has to move to Connecticut or San
Yep.
Francisco. And life presents a turn, and you don't have a real choice. San Francisco's not that bad.
No, as picking places where they could live, San Francisco is pretty close.
Yeah.
Our next door neighbor, the daughter, had a baby about, I don't know, a year, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. And they've been living, her husband's in the military, and they've been living in San Diego for the past several years.
Oh, that's
But
tough work, tough duty there.
yeah. So, but he was recently reassigned to Virginia,
Oh,
and which is not exactly
that's
a 1
drastically.
hour. Yeah, that's not a 1 hour flight hopper down to Southern California.
Mm-mm.
That's the other side of the United States.
Indeed.
So she's going to be, I talked to her the other night. She's, she's torn. And I'm not sure how much longer, I believe that her husband's name is Cody. I'm not sure how much longer Cody is going to be in the military, but, and it's kind of a mixed bag because they live on base. And so their housing is,
Right. Next to
but
nothing.
they don't make any, he doesn't make any money God bless our military. The work they do for awful pay. So, I met him Christmas 2 years ago, and I thanked him for his service. He's a really nice young guy. So, hopefully spends the rest of his career in Virginia and doesn't get deployed.
Yeah. Boy, you don't have a lot of choice in that.
No.
And one thing, and I don't want to get on a soapbox here. I don't want to. I will, but I won't. I don't want to. No matter where you stand on where we should have troops and where we shouldn't have troops, the fact remains that we do have troops. And in spite of where you may stand, you should always thank a soldier.
Yeah.
You should thank a soldier for your next step.
If you really think about the world wars we've been in, and had we been on the losing side of any of those, how different would America be right now? Probably very, very different. We may or may not be speaking English here. It could have gone several different ways for sure.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate our military people, past and present, if you've ever served, if you were enlisted and you ever did one day in uniform, I thank them for their service.
Okay, let's talk about who's in the live chat. Good morning to Jason, number one in the show today.
Yeah, how about that?
He's really made a drastic turnaround since his suspension.
Yes, he's come full circle.
He really has.
He's right back. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen, says Randy. Brazil, Rick Clemenson says good morning. Melanie Dodson, good morning to you, Melly Mel. Matt McGrew says good morning, grandpas. Tisha says good morning, men. KDM says good morning. Ken Blythe, as you mentioned. Hooli is here. Good morning, all. Grandpa Ronnie, says Jason. It finally happened. Randy says Hazel awesomeness. Here, I can show that picture one more time. You can't see it, Ronnie, but I can show it. There it is.
I can, because I'm watching the YouTube version of it also, so I did see it.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yep. There it is.
Yep.
Yep. She's, I was, as soon as I got here, I kind of set all my stuff up here and everything, and then went upstairs and met her, and she was just waking up, and she was making the most adorable scrunchy faces and yawning and stretching, and it was precious. And she has just the littlest bit of dark peach fuzz hair, so which is a whole lot more than my daughter had when she was born. She was born just like a cue ball.
Yeah.
So we had to put little scrunchy bows on her head so people knew it was a girl.
Right. Well, that happens.
Yeah.
My first grandson came out and had absolutely the blondest hair you could imagine, much the same as his dad, much the same as his grandpa.
Yeah.
And now it's almost black.
Yep.
I mean, how does that happen? I mean, I understand genetics to a degree, not a master's degree, but to a degree. And I don't know how it goes from light brown to black.
It does seem strange. Well, and even now, so the baby's hair is kind of dark, but they lose that hair pretty quickly, I think. I think that's all going to be going away in the next month or so. But and then who knows how it will come back. Both of my kids had the whitest blonde surfer hair you ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was absolutely, it wasn't even blonde, it was white.
Towheads.
They were total towheads all through school. And just now, maybe Jessica's hair, of course, maybe I haven't seen her real hair color in years, but it's a little more light, like the whitish blonde, the light blonde.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like platinum blonde on a little older woman.
Yeah.
Platinum blonde. Yep. So a lot of people weighing in with their best wishes, Ronnie. Rick Clemenson says, we go where we're sent, in reference to the military.
Yep.
Let's see. Vicky says, Tisha says, for Vicky, what will it be? Oma?
Actually, she's kind of hoping for Grammy.
Grammy.
Yeah.
And the Grammy goes to?
To Vicky.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the conversation we were having prior to coming on the air this morning.
But yes, you were saying your name, what they call you,
right,
is totally up to them.
And it can be shaped by so many things. It can even be shaped by TV.
Yeah. Well, I know. So for my mom, my kids called her Granny, as in Beverly Hillbillies Granny. And she embraced it. She was Granny. So, but I'm not even sure how that came to be. I think we probably told them that this is Granny. And right from the start, that's what they always called her, was Granny. So
Yeah, I started out as Bappa, and I thought that was really cool, and it kind of gelled into a bop bop for a while, and then now when Grandpa's out here in the compound garage, and he'll go looking for me in the house, he'll
yeah,
open that door and he'll go, Grandpa. I go, I'm right here. Okay, where's Grandma? I don't know. We're not always together, son. Try the bathroom. She's here. I saw her purse.
that's a good point. He's on to something.
I know.
Yeah.
And he
If you
knows
see
the
the
difference.
purse,
He
if you
knows the
see the
difference.
purse with his cell phone, you know grandma's
You
nearby.
know, that's another thing funny. Ronnie, that is the funniest thing. Here he is, 4.5 years old, and he'll pick up the phone and start swiping right and swiping left and hitting apps, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
They're so technologically advanced.
He can't even read, but he sees the logo.
Yeah. Yep. I I mean, we were dealing at that age. We maybe had a chalkboard to mess around on, and that was the height of our technology.
I couldn't even do the puzzle on the back of the Cocoa Puffs. And as you and everyone else knows, I'm cuckoo for
For
Cocoa
Cocoa
Puffs.
Puffs. Yeah, yeah. And you are cuckoo.
I am cuckoo.
A little cuckoo.
Damn proud of it. All right. Let's see. Good morning, Hooli. And I think that's everybody. Carrie Towheads. Got it, Carrie.
Yeah.
I was too. I had very, very blonde hair.
Oh, I did too. You should see my pictures. I mean, probably all the way up through sixth grade. And then my hair started doing this thing, and mainly in the summertime, but it would turn red, like kind of an auburn color, deep red. Um, and which was not, and then the place that I used to work when I was at Saving Center, they did not allow mustaches. So I was not allowed to grow a mustache until after I left Saving Center. And when it grew out, it was reddish, kind of a like, oh God, yeah. Probably a good thing. Probably a good thing I wasn't able to grow it out.
Yeah.
I look like Leif Erikson.
Mine, in spite of my age, has always been about this very same color.
Yeah.
Maybe a little browner, but this has always been this color. Okay, let's see, Ronnie. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away.
Oh, yeah. It was awful.
Yeah. Not that we didn't really see that coming for a while.
No. I mean, she's been ill. She's been very, very ill and in and out of the hospital numerous times. But it's still sad.
Yeah.
She was an absolute pioneer. There's some things that I didn't agree with her, and I would say that a lot of people probably didn't agree with every decision she made, but she was a force to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, yep. Okay, let's talk about football. Ronnie, did you watch any football?
I watched a little bit of college football yesterday. I watched probably about half an hour of Florida. No, was it Miami? I didn't even watch a half hour of it. Miami, I can't even remember who they were playing.
I watched golf.
I watched a little golf yesterday. I watched a little golf on Friday. Boy, Tiger's body language.
Yeah, he doesn't try to hide it much.
You could tell. I looked at his body language and I said, he's not making the cut. And he didn't.
Yeah.
I don't really know where the wheels fell off for him, but you could just tell he was not. There was something amiss with him.
Same held true for Phil Mickelson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went south really fast. That's the last of the lifetime Grand Slams that he needs to win. Is that
Oh boy.
Open, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be this year for sure. He didn't make the cut.
Where were they playing? I
They were
looked it
playing
up.
in upstate New York,
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Winghawk or something like that.
Yeah.
A very difficult course. Oh my God! And I've got one of them really deluxe looking TVs, and when they get up close on that grass, you go, how could you possibly ever hit a ball out of that?
Right.
You know, the club head would be grabbed by that grass so fast you'd never even be able to accelerate through.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Most.
That's the way an open golf tournament should be. You know, it
You know
shouldn't be
what?
the
It
winner
should
should
be a
not
little
be
bit tough.
22 and under.
Well, and I think that a U.S. Open, the rough should be rough. Keep the fairways nice and groomed, but yeah, let the rough be rough. So penalize people that don't hit fairways on their tee shots.
Yeah, they had they had fairway, first cut, you're screwed. Those were the three levels that they had. So we'll see. The leader was at 5 under, I think, after shooting an outrageous 65.
Yeah, what was his name? Is it Hunt or something?
Wolf.
Wolf. Yeah, I saw a little bit of him, and he was. Just saw one tee shot. Oh, and I saw a long putt also,
Mm-hmm.
probably about a 10-foot putt that he made.
Do you know who
So
Bryson DeChambeau is?
absolutely,
What do you think of what he's doing to golf right now?
his swing is so violent.
It looks like mine.
It, but holy cow, the results are amazing.
I think he
One
had a
of the
384-yard drive yesterday.
one of the announcers said, if you're teaching your son or daughter to golf, teach them to swing hard. And that's never really been, the thing. You're supposed to swing your club with some zest, but not so hard and fast that it, makes that it stirs up little hurricanes around you. He swings, and his swing is also different. Also, what do they call it? A flat plane swing or something like single plane swing. So the same arc that his club goes up,
Up and back, yeah.
it comes down on.
It's more
Which,
vertical.
yes.
He putts that way too.
Oh, okay. Well, so I follow a golf channel because I'm going to try to get back into golf here. I think my shoulder might tolerate it. I had shoulder surgery about 5 years ago. And the way he holds his toe, he points his toe in and he flexes his front knee in. And it's all part of that swing to keep it on that same plane. The way he holds the club, his arms, everything is locked in. So he's reducing the room for error that he can make during his swing. And holy cow, he crushes it. I've never seen anybody hit a ball like that. He hits the ball so goddamn hard.
He's a monster.
Straight.
When you look at him, he's like a linebacker.
Well, and they did show that because after his last big win, they showed him in college, and then they showed her a picture of him now. He's put on some bulk, and in all the right places.
Yeah, well, if you're a steroid hyper person, you might be thinking something's going on there.
Yeah, well, and who knows? I don't know. I'm sure they probably test in the.
Oh yeah.
In the PGA, so. But man, he's got some delts to him, and all through his back. His back looks very strong and muscular.
Well, when I said that my swing looks a little like his swing, I do swing very, very hard. I do hit the ball a very long way, but my problem is I have a really bad left knee, and so I have to kind of turn out.
Okay.
When I'm I'm bringing all of my weight to the front side, and so my foot, my leg, kind of does what his leg does, but not to that degree.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how Tiger over the years the damage of his swing to his back,
Yes.
and he's had like 155 surgeries,
Yeah.
and you know if that was the effect that Tiger's swing had on his back, imagine what this is going to be. Although, he did, DeChambeau did bulk up to do this
Right.
specifically and trains on those areas that he uses the most.
So he was saying that he, during the coil, the backswing, it's just a, regular speed. But he said he pulls down. He really makes it a point to pull the club down. And that's where he gets, where he gets a lot of his power.
It's where you, in the swing, it's where you bring your hands down to where about your pockets are.
Right. Yes. So I'm telling you, it's effective, but who knows how long he can do it for.
There's not a lot of golf courses that can hold him anymore, Ronnie.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if it's a long straight 5, I mean, he could be on the green in 1, 2.
Well, yeah,
if he's hitting at 384 yards,
right?
There's some par 5s that are, 425.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be very close to the green and on his tee shot.
And there's no reason why he won't just continue to get better and better.
Right. Well, there have been big drivers before. I mean, John Daly was a big driver.
Not compared to this.
I don't even know what he was hitting him at the time. Of course, the equipment has come so far. There's certainly. I worked security at an amateur golf tournament at Del Paso Country Club, and it was a bunch of college kids, and I was working on the 9th hole, which is very near the clubhouse, but goes outbound. And at about 280 yards from the tee, there was a creek. So I'm thinking, well, that's no problem for me because I can hit my tee shot, or I can hit my driver maybe about 275 yards pretty routinely. So no big deal. But you definitely wouldn't want to come into one and hit it hard and then end up in the water. These guys, and then you had to hit it 300 to be across the water. These lanky college kids, they come up, they grab their driver, hit it 300 yards across the creek. They look, see where the ball went, they turn around, and they put the club back in the bag. I'm like, oh my God, I would be jumping up and down and hooting and screaming if I hit a shot like that. They shrug their shoulders, put the club back, off they go. Like,
golf is such a hard game.
And these kids are they're very lanky and sinewy. And so you wouldn't think that they could hit a ball 300 yards. But like I said, the equipment is so much different than...
That's the only place where you can control this, is in the equipment.
Yeah.
You can't control the human spirit.
No. David Pisano is mentioning Holy Moly.
Uh-huh.
We were just talking about that before the show also. That's one of the greatest shows on TV right now. I love that show so much. Rob Riggle is a comic genius. He is the funniest guy. He's been on several TV shows. He makes every show he's on better. He's a scene stealer. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, you know how much I watched that ridiculous show.
Yes.
He was a guest on there one week, and oh my, he was so funny. He just is so funny. He's a former Marine, by the way.
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on, he, for a couple seasons in the middle of the run, he was on Modern Family, and he played Phil's arch nemesis in the real estate business. And he was a little bit slimy as a real estate agent,
Imagine.
and, and just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not sure I get the whole premise of that Holy Moly show. Somehow it all gets back to miniature golf, but I'm not sure I make the connections.
It's a little bit miniature golf with a little bit American Gladiator. So there's kind of a it's kind of a mashup of the two.
I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little bit rock and roll. I
And that,
love the hole number two, holy moly. Hole number two is where they have to run down the thin
oh, and the
um,
doors open?
past the outhouse doors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I've only seen one person ever make it all the way to the end. Everybody else, that last door, they get smacked right in the
You
face.
got to see it coming, too. There's nothing you can do.
Well, there is one thing you can do, which one girl did. She just said, "That looks like it hurts," and she just jumped off into the water. So she knew she wasn't going to make it. Oh, she held her nose before she jumped in also.
Why do people do that? Is it to
Just so they,
depressurize when you hit the water or
I
something?
think to keep water from going up your nose. Some people freak out when they get a little water in their nose.
Yeah, I guess so. I find that funny. A lot of girls do that. I wonder why. I wonder if it has something to do with old school, uh, high school or something, swimming. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
well,
was never taught to do that.
no, no. I played in so my freshman year, I played water polo, and there's no wearing nose plugs in water polo. Just like there's no crying in baseball, there's no nose plugs in water polo. Uh, Everything else in water polo is good though. You can do anything you want under the surface of the water. Everything's legal except standing on the bottom of the pool. You
Right.
can't touch the bottom of the pool. But yeah, there was one team. God dang, I can't remember who it was, but we were told in the locker room that they cut their toenails to a point. So yeah, and that's
Dang, man,
legal.
that's like having a weapon.
Yeah, it is like five little knives on
That'll
your
get you
foot.
kicked out of my bed real fast.
Oh man.
I never did
Yep.
understand that water polo game.
Uh, it's it's a little bit like soccer in the water.
And a lot like rock and roll.
Yep. It was fun, but I got to tell you, you had to start so early in the morning. We practiced like at I think 6 a.m. and there's steam coming up off the pool, and when people get out of the pool, there's steam coming off them. It was cold. I'm not a big fan of being cold, and at El Camino, it was a fairly long walk from the pool to the locker room.
Yeah.
So very uncomfortable. I played like I said, just my freshman year. Um, not not going to go any further. I was never going to get a scholarship on water polo.
What inspired you to do it?
You know what? Somebody said you should try to play a sport, and once you get to high school, and I was very small as a freshman. I was probably only about 5'6" maybe, and so water polo. So I wasn't going to be playing any basketball. I played basketball at Star King, but
Everybody does.
yeah. But once you get to high school and you're only like 5'5", 5'6", unless you can handle the ball amazingly and break the press by yourself, you have no place in basketball in high school. So, and I also had a paper route, and I could just make it to school by 6 a.m. because we delivered the papers in the morning, but they would normally be there by about 5. It took me about half an hour or so to do my route, and then I could go to school. But yeah, it was interesting.
I don't know. I'm just. It's not something that you are exposed to in junior high school,
No,
so it doesn't start there.
no. I actually think my buddy Ed, I don't think he was on the team, but I think he's the one who suggested it. So,
Oh
yeah,
well.
yeah.
All right.
Well,
Okay, so today on the program, in addition to all of this glorious speak, we're going to do our draft, our fantasy draft, and we're going to need your help on this one on the live chat.
yeah. Because I got two that come right to me, but I'm struggling for my third.
Okay. I haven't written mine down, so that's not a good sign. Today we're going to do TV shows worth binge watching. Now, I would say you probably should watch, depending on the show and its length, maybe 10 shows to qualify for binge watching. Does that sound right, Ron?
That sounds about right.
Okay, so, if you're going to vote for one, you probably should have voted if at least you should have seen it about 10 times.
This is completely different than Spongeworthy.
Then what?
Spongeworthy. That's a Seinfeld reference, because Elaine, there was a limited supply of these sponges that she used.
Oh, I do remember that episode.
Yeah, so she would scrutinize the men very carefully before she deemed them spongeworthy. And that was David Paisano brought up spongeworthy.
That is so funny. That is so funny. It's a show about nothing. Are you sponge-worthy? I think that guy's name was David Paisano on the show.
Well, I know that Putty, there was Putty, he's one of my favorites also. I can't think of his real life name. He was Putty on that, and then he was on another show that was hilarious too. He's a super funny guy. He's got a little Rob Riggle in him.
Okay, so binge-worthy is
David
sponge-worthy. That's funny, David. That's very funny. All right, Melanie Dodson says Sopranos, Breaking Bad, and Mad Men. And I have seen Sopranos, I've seen Breaking Bad, but I've never watched an episode of Mad Men.
I haven't either.
It's all about the advertising industry, as I understand it, which I would love, I would think.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that.
It. Patrick Warburton, thank you. David Pisano said Patrick Warburton. He played Putty, and then he was on another TV show where Oliver Hudson, who is, I think, Goldie Hawn's son or something, he was the other male character in this. It was a good show. I don't know why they left the air.
Yeah, she was married to a Hudson brother for a while.
Yeah.
Before she hooked up with, what's his name? Here's where we get to the point in the show where we're two old men trying to think of Kurt
Russell. Kurt Russell.
Takes both of us. Really, it does. I got to start taking those pills from memory. I just can't remember. I got some. I just don't know where I put them.
Or when you're supposed to take them.
No. It's
either
either...
in your hand like, what are these for? I can't even remember. I just put them away.
Just put it in the pile. Man, I'll tell you, that's the thing about getting old. It's how many medications you have to take. You know? Yeah. I got one in the mail yesterday, and I go, that's not the one I need.
Yeah. Well, I'm thankful that for CVS does 3-month prescriptions. So, and they're about, I don't know, a mile and a half from me. So I can go down there and pick it up.
Some more suggestions for our fantasy draft that's coming up in minutes here. The Waltons, Seinfeld, that is a good
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
The
Yep.
Andy Griffith Show.
Yes.
You know, I've just watched that my whole life. I don't know that it would count as binge watching. I've just seen every episode always. I've always seen them. M.A.S.S and Hill Street Blues. That's
Oh
going way
boy.
back.
Yeah. What was the catchphrase from Hill Street Blues?
Be careful out there.
Be careful out there. Yep.
Yep.
Be careful out there.
Rockford Files, Jim Rockford.
Yeah. Yep.
He drove a Pontiac, didn't he?
Firebird, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driving in a Pontiac, wishing I
Somebody
could
said
lose
Beverly
my mind.
Hillbillies also binge worthy.
Mhm.
And that's just another of those. That's another Andy Griffith show that you just watched.
I'm not saying any right now because I don't want to tip my hat in this game.
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard.
And Duke Boys is up to something.
And Duke Boys is at it again. You know, I talked about that on my radio show yesterday too. Somebody in one of the stories that I'd found, somebody had used the word hazard, Dukes of Hazzard, as a verb. They Dukes of Hazzarded that car. How do you verb
You know
that?
what? I'm going to allow it. Yeah.
I had to.
I'll allow it. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
It's okay. I think it's an appropriate use.
Yeah, so you know what? To someone who doesn't watch our show regularly and who gets on the chat, all they're going to see is people in our chat room saying the words that we can't remember. Here's Seinfeld, fish oil.
Yeah. And Russell. I saw Russell.
Right, and Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, Julio, you're making me hungry. Chips?
Chips. Oh boy.
Chocolate chips or sour cream and cheese chips?
Look at these right here. Look at what's right here.
Oh, I haven't tried those yet.
They're
You know
not
what you
open
do
yet.
with those, Ronnie? You put those in the fridge,
Yeah.
and then later on get some ice cold milk and just nibble around the outside of the cookie and dip it in that way. So that
Man. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
and
I'm
on
still-
that
I'm
keto
trying-
diet, you can have probably a half of one.
I'd have to look, but yeah.
Otis
total
Magoo
carb-
says Twilight Zone.
21 grams of carbs. That's a whole
I
day's
don't-
worth. For
You're
me.
not going to have that, no.
No, I'm not eating that.
All right. Let's see. We're at 8:43.
Yep.
Okay, I think we're ready to do our fantasy draft. You won last week, so you've got the trophy.
Yes. So I won last week, so I'm going first.
F no?
Oh, okay. I thought you were just gonna give it up. And to be honest with you, I haven't been watching the chat 100%, but I've not seen my first pick come up in chat. So, and it's a doozy. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Then we're going to do rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a good right there.
There we go. Can y'all see that? That's
Okay.
good. All right. Ready? Closing
Yep.
eyes.
Yep.
Eyes closed. And
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I went paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was scissors. All
No,
right. Scissors,
paper.
cut paper. So
Okay.
I'm going to go first, huh?
Yep.
Wow. And you have one that you think that's going to win this.
I think I do.
If I defer, I play right into your hand. And that would not be on an assertive side. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick. And I'm going to go... Friends.
Solid. That's a solid pick. Yeah.
It's a strategy pick. All right,
But
Ronnie,
see,
coming to you now with your 2 picks in the first, the first pick, second pick in the first round, first pick in the second.
I think now having 2 of these, I think this is an absolute mic drop moment
Okay.
because numero uno for me is Game of Thrones.
Never seen it. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this right. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Game of Thrones. Okay, Ronnie, you're on your second pick.
And then second pick, Breaking Bad. That was holy cow. I could not turn that. I think I watched the last 2 seasons in 2 days on that. I couldn't turn it off.
Mm. Game of Thrones was the one you weren't seeing on the chat?
I had not seen that on the chat.
Okay, so to this point in our Fantasy draft, David Pisano says Sopranos. I'm going to take Sopranos.
Oh, because that was going to be my next one.
The reason I'm going to take that is because that was one of the first shows that I ever actually understood that I was binge watching before it was so much a thing.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, I went from from Sopranos to Breaking Bad. Everything else around that, I didn't even know what I was doing. I just watched a lot of their shows. I wasn't binge watching.
Right.
Okay, so Friends, Sopranos, and I'm going to say, it's a tough call.
Don't say my last one.
Jennifer Fraser, cheers. I'm sorry. This is a very important moment here, and I don't want to just let it slide by.
This last pick could make or break your team.
I know.
A lot of good ones coming up on the chat.
I better check because I'm forgetting the one I'm thinking of. No, I'm all down with all those. I'm going to say Seinfeld.
That's a good one. Yep.
I mean, in today's language, we use so many of those cliches from the Seinfeld show still.
Yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm. Just saw that. See, the reason I bring this up, not that I need a reason, but the reason that I bring this binge watching up is because I'm on disability from work right now. And there is not a whole lot I can do. My right hand, this one, you can see how I'm holding the pen. I can't even hold the pen down here like that.
Awkward.
There's nothing I can do. Think about if you took your right hand out of the equation with everything that you do, like going for your wallet or trying to get your keys out of your pocket. Or, God forbid, going to the restroom.
Yeah.
I have virtually no control whatsoever over my right hand. And on my left hand, I can't really feel these 2 fingers here.
See, I have that on my left also, but that's from my shoulder surgery.
It's the nerves.
Yeah. That's from my car accident.
Yeah.
It's not from my shoulder surgery. Shoulder surgery was pretty successful, but they just can't repair that nerve. It's the ulnar nerve for me.
Yeah.
These 2 fingers.
Yep.
All right, so I got one left. And I hope our audience is old enough to remember this one. But I'm going to go Cheers.
I saw that.
Oh.
Okay, so now we've made our picks. And
hey, Norm, what are you up to? My ideal weight if I was 11 feet tall.
That's right, Sammy. As a matter of fact, back in the 18th century.
And Cliff.
Yep.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, Sam, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
All right, so here's what we have. It's time for you to vote now, people. Oh, ER. There was one. There's a good one. Ronnie has Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, and he has Cheers. That's a well-rounded lineup right there.
I think I covered all my bases.
That might even be a good must-see Thursday. And Lou Gallagher, that's me, has Friends, Sopranos, and Seinfeld. Now, who has the better 3 team?
Yep.
We need your vote right now on our live chat. Vote there, and we'll mention you, and we'll tally these up. Now, I got to pay pretty careful attention here, Ronnie.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough. So Hooli says gives
Lou.
you right away.
Okay, there's one for Lou. Lou, Ronnie.
And my daughter and my son-in-law got me started on Game of Thrones, and I didn't think I was going to like it. And it took me a minute to warm up to it, and then I could not watch it. I had to watch them all. I got David Pisano's got you. Carrie Toe's got you. Otis Magoo's got you.
Oh, I didn't get that. Melanie's one. David Lou for the diversity. Okay, that's one.
Holy cow. This could be a shutout.
Vinny says I'll vote Ronnie.
I averted a shutout.
Salty Dog, Lou for the win.
Oh, and Ken Blythe.
That's 7.
Yep.
7-1. My strategy, if you haven't already figured me out as a person, is I'm very middle of the road.
Yeah.
I like things very simple.
You're not going for the high points. You're going for the kind of the all-inclusive.
When I think of how a room should be decorated, I think of shapes, squares, circles. They all have to be uniform. Game of Thrones is kind of a cult file following. Steve Klein says Lou. Steve Klein, and let's see.
Oh boy, yeah, Benny Stacks. He hit that.
The
too.
Office. That's the one I was trying to think of. I have 80 episodes recorded.
God dang, that's
Vinny. I forgot The Office. That's the one I wanted to go with.
Yeah, that is. Oh God, Jim and Dwight they're the centerpiece of that. I'm looking forward to every prank that Jim pulls on Dwight.
Yeah.
Oh boy, how could I forget that one?
I
probably should have gone that instead of Cheers. I don't think it would have saved me. Apparently, yeah.
One of the things that's going to happen is later on today, my wife will be watching this. Hi, honey. And she's going to go, after all the episodes of The Office that you've made me watch in the last 2 months, you didn't say The Office. Remember I was saying there was one I was trying to remember, but I didn't have it written down. That was it.
Yep. And what's funny is, I don't know what channel it's on, but there is a channel up in the 200s, I think. And they probably play 8 episodes back to, maybe 10 or more, back to back to back to back to back to back.
Right.
You could watch The Office for probably 5 hours straight.
Not that I haven't. Excuse me. All right, has everybody voted that's going to vote? Because it's a runaway.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, and you know what? Damn it. You're in San Francisco. You don't even have the trophy.
I don't have the trophy.
Cobra Kai is pretty good if you like the Karate Kid. I've been hearing more about that.
I can present these to you.
You're not going to get those back. You need more flair. I need those TPS reports. That's my stapler. Randy says you're now called Grandpa Vet.
Grandpa Vet. I can live with that.
Highly recommend House Sharky Smart Medical Show. I know of House. Maybe I will. It's somebody.
You know what?
Oh, they're running that on that Channel 374 Comcast, which is like a low brid channel of all the old shows of Dick Van Dyke, right. And I think it's on there.
I will tell you that I recently watched. Well, not recently. It's probably been a year ago. but I did binge watch this show. It was called Longmire.
Oh yeah, this was the Forrest Fenn thing, right?
No, Longmire is it's a series about a sheriff in kind of a rural Wyoming town, and it's it's pretty compelling. Kind of the struggles. He's very close to an Indian reservation, and and of course the Indian reservation has their own law enforcement, but that doesn't prevent them from coming into town, committing a crime, and then running back to the reservation. So there was, some struggles in that area. It's a great show. It was a really, really good show.
Valerie says Ronnie for the win. Sorry, Lou. Ronnie, right now the score is 8-2.
I'm going to consider that a win. So you're saying I won?
Yeah. Am I supposed to be listening to what you say? I really should
Vicky
do that.
Doesn't. Yeah, Vicky doesn't. So why would you?
Maybe next week. All right. Okay. I would like to thank everybody for voting for me in today's Fantasy Draft. I cannot believe that I forgot to mention The Office. It's the number one show that I binge watch right now. I think I've seen just about every episode now. So that was part of the reason why I threw this up here today, to see if there's some place where I should go with my viewing. Christine Kinsey just joining us now. Okay. All right. So thank you very much. I appreciate y'all voting for me. If you have suggestions for fantasy drafts, I'd like to take a few of those from you in our live chat or in the regular comments below. I'd like to hear from you on that. And you know what? Maybe we'll even have you play. We've done that before. If it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
So do right now. If you have some ideas for a fantasy draft, send them in right now on the live chat.
We've covered a lot of bases. We've covered a lot of ground with our fantasy draft. So
yeah,
we're running out of the good stuff.
I asked Ronnie today, I gave him two choices. I said, do you want to do shows worth binge watching, or do you want to do articles of clothing that make women more attractive to men? You know which one I wanted to go with. But I will tell you, since we're not going to do it, that mine, once again, is very simple. Very, very simple. If you're a woman, and I'm a married guy, so nothing's going to happen other than I'm going to probably notice you're wearing these items. I want a pair of 501 jeans, a white t-shirt, and a pair of Wayfarer sunglasses. I'm dead. You've run me over. I'm blown out of the water. That's all I need.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of
and a Pepsi.
Jennifer Aniston look.
You know anything?
Yeah.
A little. Yeah. Yeah. Rick says best cars in the world. Well, of course, Corvette's always going to be at the top of that list.
I've tried to kind of shy away from doing car stuff on this show because that's kind of what the radio show is. It's a car show. So I try to keep the two separate. In as much as I don't really call myself Sweet Lou Gallagher on this channel.
Wait a minute. Your radio show is a car show?
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to listen more carefully.
I'll add some car stuff in next week. Yeah. My car's making this sound. What do you think it is?
Yeah.
I think it's the nut behind the wheel.
Yeah, I'm neither click nor clack.
Right.
Right.
I get that a lot, though. Your show's kind of like click or clack. Well, which one? Click or clack? Best home remedy.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Oh, so by the way, speaking of which, it looks like my surgery day is going to be October the 14th.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm starting to count down now. But one of the things that's going to have to happen is I'm going to have a COVID test.
Oh. Wow.
And so, what's today? Sunday. It's Friday. My wife calls me about 4 o'clock, just about before she comes home. She goes, "Oh, I got to tell you, I had to go get a test done because the guy that I've been training all week tested positive."
Oh boy. Here we go.
So they sent Teresa, that's my wife, out to be tested, and they said it would take 24 to 48 hours. And she got back to me last night. I let her make an appointment with me. And so I let her come into the room for about 5 minutes, and she told me that she had come back negative.
Oh,
And
good.
So that's good news. Now leave the room. See, because, when you're married, you don't want to spend too much time together.
No,
Make an
that's a
appointment.
recipe for disaster.
It is. More time you spend together, less it's gonna last.
Yep.
All right. Ooh, says Christine.
Oh.
Best hangover cure.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that is. I know it works for me.
I know it works for me too.
Aloe vera on burns. I don't have much luck with burns. If I get burned, I'm going to get a blister. And
So my mom's thing was if I had like a little cough, she would make me tea and put a big gob of honey in it.
yeah, did that work?
Yes. You don't hear me coughing, do you? It's lasted all these years.
You know what? Hold on. Let me wait. Let me see if you cough.
Not happening.
How about now?
Nope.
Now?
Not even a little one.
Now?
Never use cream on burns. So yeah, the other thing you don't want to use. I remember they used to tell you put butter on a burn.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst possible thing you can do. Don't do that.
Ibuprofen.
That's a waste of butter right there.
Yeah, unless you're going to eat it.
You put butter on these Thomas's English muffins I'm looking at right here.
If you put some butter on these last 2 fingers on this hand, I might be able to get myself a finger sandwich.
You know what's great with butter, though? I love saltine crackers with butter in the middle.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, when you used to go to a restaurant as a kid and they'd have crackers and butter on the table, and you were hungry, but your folks never ordered appetizers.
Keep the crackers coming.
Big pile of cracker waste, cracker remnants. Otis says, "I don't get hangovers. I just stay drunk." I'm trying, Otis.
You know what? If you just always have a little bit of the hair of the dog.
Right. Oh, we have a cameo appearance.
Oh, look at
that.
Who's here?
Look at that baby.
Oh, my goodness.
Aww. What a cutie. She looked like she was yawning.
Oh, and she barks a little bit.
That's right.
Yes.
Hooli says, too cute. Tisha says, my heart. David Paisano says, oh my God. Hooli says, she's going to be spoiled. Gee, you think, Hooli?
Look at those feet. Oh my goodness. The toes are so tiny. I think one of my toes is as big as all of hers.
Yeah. Matt says she is beautiful.
Oh, goodness. Oh.
Melanie says she's a keeper.
Oh, time to hand her off to Grandma.
Yeah, see? That's how that works. I remember when my wife, after we had my son, my wife got pregnant again very quickly, and she assured me that it would be just as simple as putting another bowl outside the door. And as it
work out for you,
as it turned out, that doesn't work. I keep putting the bowl out there. Babies can only be on camera for 30 seconds. Union rules. Ooh, that was close to 30 seconds.
Wow. Yeah, I think we may have been very close. We may have to cut that down in post-production.
Oh, I can do that. I'll just cut it right out. Congrats, Ronnie. She's got more hair than you.
I know. It's a little disheartening.
That's very funny.
As soon as it gets a little bit taller, I'm going to fashion it into a flat top, though. Yeah. When mom and dad are away, if we ever babysit, I'm going to get some pictures of Hazel with a flat top. So,
what color? Well, they don't have colored eyes at this point. Birthday cake time. Oh, Melanie says Hazel's going to need a SAG card. That's what happened when I brought Jake on last week or the week before.
Had to give him a SAG card.
Tisha says Ronnie is glowing.
Oh, I know.
No, he always sweats like that.
It's a little more today than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can get a temporary SAG card like for a weekend shoot or something for $50. So, you know.
Pretty soon you're going to get to smell her head and it's going to smell like Johnson's baby shampoo. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Looking forward to all that.
And diaper rash.
I've already got that. Oh, you mean for the baby? Oh,
no,
yeah.
I meant for you.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Baby powder smells. Oh, I love that smell.
It is it's very soothing, isn't it?
I used to wear it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as a grown person.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think I think inch for inch, square inch for square inch, there is no smellier part of a human than the groin of a full-grown man. So,
gee, thanks, Ron.
Just saying.
Guess you're gonna want to have some of those Thomas's English muffins now,
huh? Wouldn't stop me. Yep.
All right, Grandpa Ronnie. I think that's gonna do it for us today. Hope you enjoyed the hour plus. Thanks to everybody that watches the show on a regular basis. We appreciate it. We had a really good week last week with viewerships. Over 150 views of the show.
Oh, nice.
And every single 100% like.
Oh, good.
If you haven't already done and you're watching our show, you haven't subscribed, take care of that right now. How quickly do I see it? Almost instantly on my phone. So if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. But don't do it and then unsubscribe tomorrow. That pisses me off.
That's just a tease.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tease.
And like the program too. Just give it a thumbs up. Comments are always welcome. We try to get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. My radio show is on Saturday mornings on the West Coast at 8 a.m. I'm sorry, at 6:30 a.m. on the West Coast.
I wish it was 8 a.m.
Yeah, so do I. And that's 9:30 on the East Coast. And you can visit the radio station's website to find out how you can listen to the program live. It's 1015khits.com. Our Facebook page is at Men Are So Smart. Be sure and follow that. Our email addresses, Ronnie, what's yours?
Ronnie, Corvette Ronnie. No, just Ronnie. Ronnie at menaresosmart.com.
And mine is Lou at menaresosmart.com. We hope that you have a great rest of your Sunday. We hope that things go well for you. And Ronnie, we're going to let you get back to that baby and enjoying every single moment of being a grandma and a grandpa.
Yes.
All right.
Good. All right.
All right. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I am Corvette Ronnie.
And let me see. I don't have this right. There we go. We'll see you next time on Men Are So Smart. Bye-bye, everybody.